Welcome back, deep divers. Today we're diving into something you specifically requested, mastering assistive technology. And honestly, getting my hands on this research article. Mastery of assistive technology. What is it? How do we measure it? By Satterfield and team? Well, it's like finding buried treasure. Published just this year in Assistive Technology, the official journal of ResNo. This thing, it's packed with insights. And you know how we all know that just having an assistive technology device, it doesn't equal success, right? It's like, okay, I own a fancy espresso machine, but that doesn't make me a barista,
right.
This study. It digs into what it takes to go beyond just pushing buttons, to really get to that true mastery of assistive tech. And to guide us through this deep dive, we've got expert speaker joining us, who I think it's safe to say lives and breathes this stuff. So expert speaker. Are you ready to get our minds blown about mastery?
Oh, I'm always ready to talk about this. What I find fascinating about this study is how it frames mastery, not as a finish line, but as a journey, like a process. With all these distinct stages, they even pull in these models from other fields to kind of illustrate it, like the Griffiths model, which charts that path. You know, from novice to expert.
Okay, so you're talking about a journey. How does this study envision all those different stages of mastery?
So they break it down into 4 stages. You start as a novice, then you move to a context-dependent user. Next up is the transitional user. And then finally, you reach the peak, the power user. Can you imagine? A power user of assistive tech, bending it to their will.
Okay, I am picturing someone coding their own accessibility hacks, some kind of tech wizard. But seriously, they didn't just identify these stages. They created a whole measurement tool, the comprehensive assessment of technological mastery, or CATM for short. And they based it on feedback from actual assistive technology users and practitioners. This wasn't just theories. And what really clicked for me were the 4 constructs of mastery that they identify. Because it's not just about how well someone performs a task, it's a much deeper look at their relationship with the technology.
Yes. These constructs, they highlight the essential elements of mastery that go beyond just checking boxes on a task list. You're not just using the technology, you're owning it.
Okay, so walk us through these 4 constructs then. What are we talking about here?
So the first is experience with AT, having access to the technology, opportunities to use it in real-world settings, time to experiment, to make mistakes. And you know those aha moments, those positive experiences. It's about building that foundation of comfort and familiarity.
Right, because you wouldn't just hand someone a driver's license because they memorized the handbook. They have to get behind the wheel.
Exactly. And that leads us to the second construct, proficiency with AT. This is about effectiveness, being able to troubleshoot problems like a pro, possessing those key technical skills, even using the AT for creative problem solving in different situations.
So it's about knowing not just what the buttons do, but how to use them strategically. Like how to adapt when things go wrong. It's like the difference between knowing how to change a tire and knowing how to change a tire in a blizzard.
Precisely. And this leads us to the third construct, knowledge of AT. It's not just about knowing your device. It's about understanding the broader landscape of options, how they work technically, feeling empowered to make informed choices about what's right for you.
So instead of being handed one tool, you're like this savvy consumer, advocating for your needs, exploring all the possibilities.
Exactly. And that ties into the fourth construct, which I think is the most powerful, personal connection to AT. This is huge. This is about self-advocacy, being adaptable when things change, that persistence to overcome challenges, and the internal drive, the motivation to truly own the AT as an extension of yourself.
Yeah, that's it. That's the difference, right? Between someone who just uses technology and someone who's really mastered it. It's that sense of ownership and personal connection. It's my phone. It's not just a phone to me. You know, it's my lifeline. It's my entertainment center. It's my memory bank. And I'm realizing maybe I'm not even at that power user level yet.
Well, and that's the beauty of this research, right? It challenges us to consider these different stages and recognize that, okay? Everyone is at a different point in their journey, and that personal connection is so key. Especially, you know, when you start to think about
the relationship between assistive technology and well-being.
Right, because it's not just about checking off tasks on a list. It's about how using these tools can impact someone's sense of agency, their confidence, their overall quality of life. Absolutely. This study even cites researchers like Perlin and Schooler, who found that sense of personal mastery, of having that control. Agency in your own life, it's crucial for well-being. And, this is especially significant for people with disabilities who might face all these barriers and situations that can diminish that sense of control.
Yeah, because if you constantly have to rely on other people for help with everyday tasks, it can really impact your self-esteem and sense of independence. But assistive technology, when it's mastered, it has the potential to flip that script.
Exactly. And that's why I think understanding these 4 constructs is so important. It's not enough to just hand someone a device and be like, here you go. We need to foster all those elements, the experience, the proficiency, the knowledge, and that crucial personal connection.
Yeah, it's like the difference between giving someone a fish and teaching them to fish, right? But in this case, we're not just teaching them the mechanics, we're empowering them.
Yeah.
To become like master anglers who can thrive in any fishing environment.
I like that. I like that analogy a lot. And this is where I think the study's emphasis on a user-centered approach really resonates with me. You know, the CATM, that measurement tool they developed, wasn't just dreamed up in a lab. It was shaped by feedback from actual users and practitioners, people who understand the realities of living with and using assistive technology.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. It's about recognizing the unique needs and experiences of each individual.
And supporting them on their own path to mastery.
Exactly. And that means thinking about how we design, implement, and support the use of these tools in all kinds of settings, schools, workplaces, everyday life. It makes you wonder if we're even doing enough right now to foster this kind of mastery. In our current systems, are we giving people the resources, the support, the time, the encouragement that they need to really thrive with assistive technology?
That is the million-dollar question, and it's something that I think everyone, from policymakers to educators to developers, need to be thinking about.
It's like we've been looking at assistive technology through this really narrow lens, focused on, just basic functionality. But this study throws the doors wide open, and it reveals all this potential for empowerment and even personal growth.
Yeah, it's like a paradigm shift. And it reminds us that technology, at its heart, should really be about
enhancing human capability and well-being.
And that's what this whole deep dive, it boils down to, right? Mastering, not just the tools, but mastering our own lives with the help of those tools. Precisely.
Okay.
And it's a really powerful message for individuals who use assistive technology, and honestly, all of us who are involved in designing, developing, and supporting its use.
So I think as we start to wrap things up here, I want to leave our listeners with something to ponder.
Okay.
So if we really embrace this whole concept of mastery, this whole journey of experience, proficiency, knowledge, personal connection, how could it change the way we approach assistive technology in all areas of life?
Yeah. It's a question worth exploring for sure. How can we create educational systems that empower students to become confident, independent users of assistive technology? How can we design workplaces that fully leverage the skills and talents of individuals who have mastered these tools? And how can we foster communities where everyone feels supported and empowered to thrive with assistive technology?
Those are some really powerful questions.
Yeah.
And I think it highlights the exciting possibilities that are ahead of us when we start viewing assistive technology through this new lens of mastery.
It definitely is an ongoing conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm really eager to continue it.
Me too. And I hope all of our listeners will join us for that conversation as well. Until next time, keep those brains engaged, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.